Okay, good evening. My name is Rafif Robani Aidat. Today I'm going to present to you about the security breaches in OpenEMR. So, introduction. OpenEMR is the most popular open source solution to manage electronic medical records. It features fully integrated electronic medical records, practice management for a medical practice, scheduling, and electronic billing. Statistics indicate that 100 million patients have data in the system worldwide. So in this in this presentation, I'm going to review a case. So it's a study case about how cybersecurity researchers conducted a review of the source code that uncovered numerous vulnerabilities and later published it in a paper. So the types of security breaches that were detected by the researchers in the source code of the OpenEMR system. So first one is unauthorized access to administrative function, SQL injections, unauthorized information disclosure, file uploading vulnerabilities, cross-site request forgery issues. So the first one is going to be unauthorized access to administrative functions. So basically, the patient portal is a primary component of the OpenEMR system. It enables the patients to communicate with the providers, right? Fill in forms and appointments, and even have a video consultations with health professionals. So unauthenticated users could bypass the main login screen that permitted patients to access records or let administrators handle requests. Infiltrators can do so by navigating the portal's registration page and modifying the URL. So it is very easy for the hacker, right, to gain access into this administrative function by simply modifying the URL. So a potential solution for this would be to adding restrictions to the system's administrative functions. So maybe only give the ability and or the function to a very limited amount of people, a limited amount of admins, right? So it can hopefully prevent these types of attack to happen. So second type of attack is SQL injection. So SQL injection is the most common type of hack. It requires inserting malicious code into SQL databases through web-based inputs. So some of the SQL injection that researchers used did not require authentication to the patient portal first. However, all of them needed authentication to OpenEMR for the exploitation to happen. The cybersecurity specialist provided details about the affected code snippets. They recommended using parameters queries for those parts of the code, which is a widely accepted way to prevent SQL injection attacks. So a potential solution, just you create an input validation in the system. Input validation, make sure that accept the type, length, and format of the file that will be sent into the SQL database. So the system will be able to detect if it's a suspicious type of file, and maybe they can quarantine it, or things like that. The third type of attack is unauthorized information disclosure. Unauthorized information disclosure happens when an application does not adequately protect sensitive information from parties that should not have access to it. As such, it could give hackers details to assist them in later stages of the attack. So, for example, the types of information disclosure that were easy to be accessed by the hacker are, for example, the current version of the OpenEMR, the version information about the installed edition of the EMR. So they will have this important information, right, about the version of the EMR, and then they can like analyze what's the weaknesses of these systems are. So obviously, to prevent those, maybe try to hide the important information about the system, or maybe even create fake ones to distract or fool attackers. Maybe you can create an encryption for the information, right? So you just use an encrypted version, so the hackers will not be able to guess which version of the OpenEMR it is. So fourth one is file uploading vulnerabilities. So the cybersecurity professional found a problem perpetuated by non-existent checks on image files uploaded by administrators. They concluded the issue would allow authenticated users to gain privileges by uploading a PHP web shell to carry out system commands. So they recommended for fixing the problem, including blacklisting non-image extensions or employing other checks to verify an uploaded image as an image, right? So just like before, only allow certain file extensions, only allow certain types of file, set maximum file size and name length, and allow only also only allow authorized users access into this um, what do you call it, system. So, and then there's a cross-site request forgery issues. It happens when an authenticated user of a platform uses cookies, gets forced to participate in actions, often by clicking on fraudulent links within the interface. That causes state changes rather than data theft. So the researchers found OpenEMR was vulnerable to more than several cross-site forgery request issues, and that the problem affected nearly all of the administrative actions possible on OpenEMR. So potential solution is to create an anti cross-site request forgery token. It is a random string that is only known to the user's browser and the web application. The anti-CSRF token is usually stored inside a session variable, so it will be hidden in the page. If the value of the session variable and the hidden form field match, the web application accepts the request. If they do not match, the request will be dropped. So, what are the outcome of the research? So, less than 3 weeks after the team disclosed their findings to the software manufacturer. Oh, sorry, I think I'm blocking. Wait. Okay. The company pushes an update that fixes the vulnerabilities approximately 2 weeks after the responsive actions. The news of the uncovered problem were released to the public. The research showed that periodic vulnerability assessment and penetration testing conducted by professionals could help to reveal vulnerabilities in similar platforms before they get exploited. Now that the issues of in OpenEMR has come to light, cybersecurity professional working in healthcare organization can check to ensure that they don't resurface. So, in conclusion, while OpenEMR is a very good and very useful system, it has a lot of security issues and security weaknesses. So by updating these security problems, we can hopefully keep the important informations on patients' medical records and things like that more secure and more private. So thank you. That's it for me today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.